Nikki, this
Hey
is
man,
Chris at Fox 5 in DC. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and see you.
All right, excellent. I can hear and see you too. That is a work of art
Good.
behind you. What am I looking at?
Thank you. So screensaver.
It's a
Uh,
screensaver.
uh, it's a screensaver, believe it or not, right? Isn't that sick?
I love it. I love it. All right, you ready to rock?
Yeah.
Stupid question, I know.
No, the reasonable one. Most people ask me, and I've had to look it up. It's like some $200 million piece of art that I just have a subscription for different screensavers on the camera,
Uh-huh.
and so it's cool. So
Yeah,
I'm fancy now. I guess I'm fancy.
you are fancy. Nikki, it has been 45 years since Motley Crue formed, 20 years since the Carnival of Sins tour. Now you guys are obviously kicking off this new tour. You are celebrating both in your wildest dreams. And I know from everything that I have heard that you guys know how to get a little wild. But in your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine you'd be doing this 45 years later still?
No. I mean, I think I remember something like the Rolling Stones, like 20th year anniversary. And I was like, wow, how do you do that for that long? How do you stay in a band that long? How do you stay relevant for that long? And so many of our peers are, up there too, 30, 35, 40 years, some a little more, guys in Aerosmith. It's crazy. We never would imagine that. Just, living in an apartment in Hollywood, writing these little ratty anthem songs and playing the clubs and just all, it's really now I can look back and go, what a crazy ride this has been. Like all the highs and all the lows and the whole thing. And, here we are, and we're, going to go out and do some shows this summer, and it's going to be a blast. It's a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah. And you mentioned the highs and the lows. Are there any that stand out more than others over the course of those last 45 years?
Uh, you kind of like in life, your super high highs are like unbelievable, like you never thought you could reach such a thing, and with the band and in my personal life and sobriety and longevity, and then you get to a place like where I'm at my age, where I really focus on my health and my creativity, because then my creativity comes from that. And my family is pretty much well, they are everything to me. And so I feel like I have a very nice balanced life. I get to play rock and roll and get to take my little one to school. She just started kindergarten, and
Mhm.
that's a blast. So life's good, man. No complaints.
I love to hear it. I have a baby girl on the way in January, so I'll also started a little later in life, and I'm looking forward to all that comes with that. But you
Yeah.
mentioned longevity, and obviously 45 years speaks to your longevity. What keeps you going? What keeps your passion alive for what you do?
Oh, I think we've stumbled and fallen so many times. Times have changed, times come back. You're the most popular band in the world. You're the most hated band in the world. You just kind of just ride this thing out. It's like life. Like we don't know when the end date is, for the clock's ticking, and we just do what we love. And I'm so grateful that fans still want to hear, these songs. And we have new fans too, which is always exciting to see multi generations at our shows. So that's been a real cool thing. I'm excited about this tour also because I believe that Motley is has a lot of different faces to it. We could be extremely heavy. We can have stuff like Home Sweet Home and Without You, and but they're all based around songs. Like that's always kind of our thing, is like, how good is this song, no matter what style we're playing it in. And I feel like with Extreme and Tesla, you got two bands that also it's about songs. So the overall for me is like, what a great night of music outside. Most of these shows are outside, and summertime, and you're going to hear all those hits. And that's like a, it takes a lot to get people to leave their house now. I mean, you could just, with your remote, you can have anything you want on demand. So to get people to actually go out and do, go to a concert and drive there and park and the whole thing really really means a lot to us, and that people still love that live music experience.
They're irreplaceable. You mentioned kind of having these new fans. I mean, there are people who were around at the beginning who probably brought their kids to the first carnival show 20 years ago, and now those kids
Yeah,
bring their kids to the
yeah.
return to the Carnival of Sins. What is it like kind of looking out there and seeing all of these generations of fans?
We did some shows quite a while ago, opening for the Stones, and I remember stepping on stage, and it was like I was shocked. First of all, it was we'd never seen that much gray hair. So their fans had been around as long as them, right? And then you were noticing that like that guy, that's his son, and that's his grandson. They were like these pods of families. And I was like, that's amazing. And we're playing for these little kids and for people that, maybe don't even like us that much. And um older generation that came up in the 60s and stuff with the Stones. So that's like what I'm seeing, and it's really cool. Not so much white hair yet, but it's coming.
It's coming. Listen, I kind of wanted to, play into this idea of, aging on the road type of a thing. Has the concert experience changed at all for you guys? I mean, do you feel the need to like want to sit down at any point? Do the crowd sit down at any point if they're getting a little older? And I also, do the younger crowds help you, and having young kids too? Does that help you stay young?
Yeah. Uh, well, I mean, nobody sits that at a Motley Crue concert.
That's right.
That's kind of like the people sitting down is for funerals, not for rock and roll. So, we do everything to keep people up on their feet and having a good time with it. Having new fans, it's been, like you said, 45 years. We're constantly seeing new generations of people, and at meet and greets, we'll see people they're like bringing their teenage daughters, and they're like, this was my record but I was your age, the dad to the daughter. Those are
Mhm.
experiences that you never knew was going to happen when you were just starting out and playing in the clubs. And we were out opening for Ozzy forever, and then like Home Sweet Home like really took us to the next level after Shout at the Devil off the Theater Pain album. And you just don't realize like that you're that embedded in people's lives. But I have to say, I have a few bands. Aerosmith is the one that was the band for me when their first record came out. I carried that vinyl around school and Get Your Wings. I carried it around. We'd go to each other's houses, and I'd say, listen to this song. It's Train Kept a Rolling. Listen to this song, write me. And I knew every lyric, like who played on the songs. Like, so there's like saxophone in this song. And I'm like, saxophone? Like what in Aerosmith? Like, you didn't realize, and you start to learn about the roots and the blues and rock and roll. And so that band is like so important to me, and I believe that we have fans that feel that way about us. So there's like a responsibility there too, to them. You don't want to. You don't want to. What does they say? Be careful if you meet your idols. I take that really seriously. When I'm out with my family and we're having dinner and we're having I try to realize that, like, somebody comes up to the table and they don't mean to interrupt your family dinner. Maybe it's Thanksgiving, and but
Right.
they're excited. You have to go out of your way to make sure people feel really good.
Nikki, I got to let you go, but before I do, you guys are big into giving back. What can you tell me about ASAP and where some of the money from this tour is going to go?
Well, we have a thing called Motley Crue Give Back Initiative, and we've done different things to raise money. We played three clubs on the Sunset Strip, and donated all the money from that. All the instruments were donated, auctioned off, and we raised about $400,000 for Covenant House and to help these at-risk youth. And we did the same thing at the Vegas residency. And this is no different. It's a after school arts program is something that funding is being cut or has been cut. These kids need an opportunity to express themselves. One of the things I did at Covenant House, I donated proceeds from my book, The Heroin Diaries, on addiction and recovery, and we built a music program there. So as the kids are getting healthier and getting their life together, they have something to look forward to. And it's like with the after school arts program, the kids need something to look forward to. Life's confusing, it's hard, and you want to be able to express yourself. So that's why we get back there. $1 from every ticket, by the way, us and Live Nation. So that's been phenomenal. And that's, we're easily going to raise $100,000 for this, for this one.
All right, Nikki, thank you so much for spending some time with us here in DC. Have a great tour, and we'll see you out on the road.
See you out there, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.